Good boy. Good boy. Hi everybody, it's Dr. Magnifico from Vet and Podly.com. This is Garfield. He is a rescue. He's probably about somewhere between 1 and 2 years old. He came to us over a week ago. He was so congested and so snotty that he really almost couldn't breathe. He's lost a significant amount of weight. So if you look at him and you palpate along his spine, you can feel like all of the vertebrae of his spine. The other thing is, if you look at his back legs, this is actually his femur. So that's the femur bone sticking out. So he's lost a significant amount of muscle. He was so congested and so sick and actually so feral and so afraid that he would not eat. He hisses when you approach him. He really desperately wants affection, but he's going to hiss at you when you approach. So some of these cats actually kind of give you, they'll hiss, they'll put their ears back, they shrink into a tiny ball in the back of their cage, but once you touch them, they actually sort of melt. He's one of those cats. He's a really, he's a special little kitty. We have spent the last week trying to encourage him to eat. He's been on 3 different antibiotics. He's been on 2 different appetite stimulants, and we've been force feeding him, trying to get him to eat, and he just refused. I think he was too scared and too congested. If a cat cannot smell, they will not eat. So it's really important to keep their nose free of all of that caked on mucus. He was so bad that on Monday we had decided to put a feeding tube in. I will give these guys a couple of days to respond to antibiotics. So he was on, multiple antibiotics. We started him on Convenia, which is an injectable antibiotic. It's not the best, but it's certainly the easiest because we weren't sure that we could approach him. That didn't work. So we went to Clavamox. That didn't work. We went to Baytril. That didn't work. And then we went to doxycycline, and then we added famciclovir, which is an antiviral. I really think the antiviral is what did it. He got daily sub-Q fluids. We put him on some vitamins. We put him on some supplements. We offered him every single food in the world. And then we started force feeding him on Monday. He actually on Monday had the congestion had cleared up enough that he could start to swallow. So he started doing well. And now I'm very, very happy to report that he is eating on his own, which is a huge, huge milestone. In my opinion, a cat is not well, and they are not able to go home until they're eating on their own. And if that means you put a feeding tube in, you put a feeding tube in. Too many people are reluctant to do feeding tubes, and unfortunately, it costs a lot of cats their lives. It's actually pretty simple, pretty easy. If you've got a really sick cat and you've got a veterinarian that's not comfortable putting a feeding tube in, I would suggest you find another veterinarian that is. Those guys, it will save their lives. So this is Garfield. He is about probably a week and a half here, and finally he's happy, he's eating. We are going to do our best to find him a great home. He's a little misunderstood, but he is a really, really a love bug, and I'm so happy to report that he's eating. One of the other things that we did was we offered him lots of different options. So he's got some dry food treats. Some cats just don't like canned food, so they'll do dry food. We also put catnip. He's been looking at treats. That's one of the things we do. We put catnip in his bed, and then we've been giving him a lot of attention. A lot of these cats associate attention with food, and some of them won't eat unless you give them attention. So you've got to put a lot of time and energy into these guys, and you've got to address the whole cat. We made sure that he was disease-free. He was feeling leukemia FIV negative. We got rid of the fleas, we got rid of the intestinal worms, made sure there wasn't any of those, and then we had to get rid of the infection. So it was a lot of things that we tried and a lot of intensive care. But this is the difference between life and death in these cats. You've got to have a team that's devoted, you've got to be devoted to them, and you have to understand that there is more than a disease process. You have to treat the cat. And for him, that means attention and love and reinforcement. We gave him a safe, quiet place away from everybody else because he came from the street and he's afraid of everything. So he's really sort of in our back room, in our locker room. All by himself. It's quiet, and we just come back here and we give him attention, and then we do the medical stuff. It's not just the medical stuff, which is just going to reinforce his fear. So it's not just grabbing his head and forcing food down. It's all the rest of the stuff. It's time, it's attention, it's taking it slow, it's trying to encourage him in a healthy manner, and then it's being committed to the long haul. This is a week and a half, and this is a rescue cat. This is not even, a paying client. This is someone that we're doing just sort of out of the generosity of our heart. But this is the difference, and this is why we do it. It's giving this guy a second chance and really saving his life. If you have any questions, you can find me here at Jared's Full Vet. You can find me at Podly.com. And hopefully this guy will be available for adoption soon. He's through one of the rescues, Stray Streets Rescue in Havre de Grace, and they've done an amazing job. And he's actually part of Best Friends for Hartford County too. So there are 2 rescues that we're working with to save this kitty, and he's doing great. So thanks everybody for supporting the Good Samaritan Fund and for taking care of our stray and feral cats. They really deserve a break, and some of them turn out like this, a total love bug. If you're interested, please find us at Jarrettsville Vet, and please take very good care of your cats, and whatever you do, don't give up. They really, really deserve a second chance. Take care. Say bye, Garfield. Says I'm getting better. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye.